So good afternoon, everyone. So it's a pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar on information security management systems. Before we begin, allow me to briefly introduce about myself. So my name is Arunachalam Sundara, and I'm currently serving as Southern Regional Operations Manager at KBS Certification Services Limited. I hold a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics engineering and bring with me over 24 years of professional experience, with the past 16 years dedicated to the third-party certification industries. So I'm a certified lead auditor in multiple international standards, including ISO 9001, ISO 14001, ISO 45001, ISO 50001, ISO 22301, and ISO 27001, 2022 standards. So over the course of my career, I have performed more than 1,400 mandates of auditing across these standards. In addition to auditing, I have been actively involved in professional training and capacity building. For the past 13 years, I have had the privilege of delivering over 800 mandates of CQA approved lead auditor training courses, helping professionals across industries develop the skills and knowledge needed to lead effective management system audits. That is all about myself. Now, introduction about KBS Certification Services Limited. So KBS Certification Services Limited is a globally recognized conformity assessment body providing independent third-party certification, training, inspection, and sustainability-related services accredited by national and international bodies. KBS is committed to promoting quality, compliance, and continual improvement across industries. KBS offers a broad spectrum of ISO management system certifications, including ISO 9001, ISO 14001, ISO 45001, ISO 50001, ISO 27001, and ISO 22301, among others. Our services are delivered by highly qualified team of auditors with a deep sectoral expertise. In addition to certification services, KBS is a leading provider of CQA approved lead auditor training courses. With a structured practical approach, our training programs help professionals gain internationally recognized qualifications and the competence needed to lead and conduct effective audits. We have delivered hundreds of training batches contributing to skill development across a wide range of industries. KBS also offers specialized services in clean development mechanism and climate change projects. These include validation, verification, and third-party assessments in line with UNFCCC and voluntary carbon market requirements, supporting organizations in their journey towards sustainability and carbon neutrality. With a strong reputation for integrity, technical competence, and customer-centric service, KBS continues to be a trusted partner for organizations seeking assurance, compliance, and long-term value. It's both an honor and a responsibility to contribute to the advancement of management system practices, and I look forward to sharing my key insights with you today on the effective implementation and continual improvement of the ISMS. I hope my screen is visible to you all. So today we are here to discuss the overview on ISO 27001, 2022, which talks about information security, cyber security, and privacy protection, information security management system standards. So today we are going to discuss the topics on context of the revision from 27001, 2013 to ISO 27001, 2022. Then Annex Excel based the structure of the standards. Then there is based approach to information security. Then enhancing cyber resilience and regulatory compliances. Then how ISO 27001 supports to cyber resilience. Then suggests a roadmap to achieve ISO 27001, 2022 conformity. Then how this 27001, 2022 can be integrated with the other management system standards, then business and professional benefits of ISO 27001 certifications. So these are the topics today we are going to discuss. So this session may be useful to three level of the people. First of all, the ISMS beginners. So the ISMS beginners can gain foundational understanding of 27001 and its relevance. They can learn basic terms and concepts in information security. They can get oriented for further learning for career paths. Then for the intermediate learners, they can clarify and connect the scattered knowledge. They can understand updates in 27001, 2022 standards. They can learn practical applications and examples to a reasonable level. Coming to the advanced professionals, so they can refresh and validate the knowledge with the 2022 changes. They can explore the integration with other ISO standards. They can enhance capability to train, consult, or audit more effectively. So these are all the limited content regarding to the webinar. So to start with the context of the revision from ISO 27001 2013 to ISO 27001 2022. See, we were practicing ISO 27001 2013. And the standards has been revised after nearly a decade. So there was a necessity to revise the standards with a rapid evolution of technology, the rise of cloud computing, hybrid work models, Internet of Things, and growing cybersecurity threats. The standard needed to be catch up. So by October 2022, the ISO organization published the new version, ISO IEC 27001 2022, with a primary goal to align the management system with the modern security needs and bring Annex A controls in synchronization with the revised ISO IEC 27002 version. The revision mainly focused on Annex A, which now has a new structure with the 4 control teams that are organizational, people, physical, and technological teams. Say the organizational controls having 37 controls, the people teams having 8 controls, the physical team having 14 controls, and technological team having 34 controls. So overall, there are 93 controls, which has been reduced from 114 from previous ISO 27001 2013 standards. So the current version 27001 2022. Out of the 93 controls, say which has been reduced from 114 with some merged with some updated or removed. There are 11 entirely new controls, including threat intelligence, data masking, and cloud services. The core classes from class number 4 to 10 of the standards remaining the same, with some minor editorial updates to reflect the better consistency and clarity. So the new version reflects a shift towards a more risk-informed, flexible, and future-ready approach to ISMS that supports digital transformation and evolving threat landscapes. So the notable new controls added include the threat intelligence, information security for cloud services, ICT readiness for the business continuity, data masking, web filtering, secure coding. So this reflect emerging risks and modern practices in cybersecurity, cloud adaptation, and business continuity planning. Let us speak about the merged, renamed, and updated controls. So the many controls were merged or reworded to reduce the redundancy. For example, redundant and access control policies were combined. The language was made clearer and action oriented. Each control now comes with 5 new attributes like control type, the information security properties, cyber security concepts, operational capabilities, then security domains. These are all developed for better categorization and mapping. So according to Annex Excel, whatever may be the new version of any ISO standards, that will be configuring 10 classes. Class number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. In information security management system also as per ISO 27001, 2022, these classes are there. Class 1 demonstrating the scope of the organization. Class number 2 talks about the normative references. Class number 3 talks about the terms and definitions. Class number 4 defines the context of the organization operating the system for 27001 standards. Then class number 5, leadership commitment towards the 27001 standards. Class number 6, planning. Class number 7, support function. Class number 8, operations. Class number 9, performance evaluation. And class number 10, improvements. Out of these 10 classes, the first 3 classes are considered as a reference class. Means these classes are not auditable classes. The auditable classes starts from class number 4 to class number 10. So with reference to ISO 27001, 2022 version, class number 4 defining the internal issue, the external issues, the needs and expectations of interested party, the information security management system establishment, implementation, maintenance, and continual improvements. Class number 5 leadership demonstrates the requirements for top management commitment, including the establishment of information security policy, the roles, responsibility, and authority towards setting up the information security management system as per ISO 27001 requirements. Class number 6 planning demonstrates the risk and opportunity to the information security management system. Then it demonstrates the requirements for information security risk assessment and risk treatment. Then class number 6.2 talks about information security management system related objectives specific to the information security system. Class number 7 demonstrate the support function, which includes the resources, competence of the people, awareness of the employees, internal and external communications, control of documented information. So these are all specific to information security management systems. Class number 8 talks about operations. When we talk about operations here, the operations are purely related to the information security management systems. With reference to class number 6.1.2, 1.3, and other related classes, how the organization is establishing its information security operations. That is demonstrated in class number 8.1. Then, from the information security risk assessment and risk treatment, how it is demonstrated, that is given in class number 8.2 and 8.3. So simply speaking, class number 8 talks about core operations. Understand class number 6 and 8 is having direct linkage. We can say class number 6 output is connected with the class number 8 operations as an input. Whatever may be there, information security control objectives earlier we were discussing in ISO 27001 2013. Here we are discussing as information security control objectives say using Annex A. So as a result of Annex A demonstrated in class number 6.2, 6.1.1, 6.1.3. Class number 8.2 and 8.3 is further briefing it. Further, it talks about further establishments. As a result of all class number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 establishments, class number 9 demonstrates the requirements for performance evaluation. When we talk about the performance evaluation here, whatever may be the outcome of the operations executed as a result of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the outcome arrived. That is discussed here in class number 9 as performance objectives. And these objectives are monitored, measured, analyzed. Not only the objectives, other information security management system related performance matters. As a result of class number 9 performance evaluation, say the parameters for the performance of the information security management system in terms of the information security objectives, the processes related to the information security performance, then the internal auditing, then the management review, everything all are discussed in class number 9. As a result of class number 9, the organization which is trying to demonstrate its commitment to information security, they will come to know about the positive aspects, the positive trend of the system, and the negative trend of the system. So the positive trend can be always appreciated. The negative trends in terms of the system gaps, performance gaps in the information security objectives, process-based performance gaps, internal auditing, system-based gaps, management remeeting-based gaps. So all these gaps will be identified and will be worked out for further improvements. So the class number 10 demonstrates the improvement areas in which whatever may be the gaps identified by the organization, they will try to use the tool here in improvement, say the root cause analysis, correction, corrective action tool. They will try to apply this tool and they will try to bring improvement within the systems. And the cycle, this entire cycle is operating based on the plan, do, check, act cycle concept. Class number 4, 5, 6 demonstrate the planning. If you want to specific information about this, class number 6 is demonstrating the planning approach. Class number 5 demonstrating its commitment to operate this plan, do, check, act cycle. Class number 7 and 8 is coming under do part of the PDC cycle. Class number 9 is coming under checking part of the PDC cycle. Class number 10 is coming under acting part of the PDC cycle. Understand, the entire 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 related requirements are happening within the context of the organization, and the context is demonstrated through class number 4. That's all about the plan, do, check, act cycle understanding. So concluding, the entire classes, the auditable classes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 falling under the plan, do, check, act cycle. Being an auditor or being a learner, we must have a basic understanding of this. Now, taking some extracts from the standards, especially on the risk-based approach to information security. In this, one of the most critical themes is the risk-based approach to information security. So what does it mean? The risk-based approach. The organizations are having lot of information assets, under various categories. So these information assets shall be controlled appropriately. So on what basis it will be controlled? It will be controlled based on the level of the risk involved within the information assets. This may be of anything. This information asset may be anything. The risk management mechanism, ISO 31000 is helping you, to understand, have a better understanding on the risk management. Say how to identify the risk, how to mitigate the risk, how to manage the risk. If you want to go one step ahead, you can refer to ISO 31010, which it demonstrates, the methodological approach, to assess the risk. If you want to have a deep dive on that, you can refer ISO 31000 and 31010 standards. I believe 31000, the current version is 2018, and 31010, the current version is 2019. You can refer that. So the risk-based approach ensures that your resources are focused on areas that matters most. say the business operations, customer trust, or regulatory compliances. So when we talk about the engine of risk thinking, I said earlier class number 6.1.2 and 6.1.3 deals with the risk assessment and risk treatment. So according to class number 6.1.2, every organization needs to carry out an information security risk assessment to identify what are the assets you are having, like data, devices, and systems, and depends on the assets, what type of threats they face, what type of vulnerability that exists, and finally, what impact if those threats are faced by the company at any point of operations. Coming to 6.1.3. 6.1.3 deals with the risk treatment, wherein being an information security management representative or the person operating dealing with the information security risk, you will decide which risk to accept, which risk to reduce, which risk to avoid or transfer, and based on all these things, how to select the controls. How to select the controls annex A. So here, I would like to get inside to annex A to have a better understanding, so that we can demonstrate about the nature of the controls. Kindly wait, let me share one more screen. I am sharing my screen with you. Just to confirm whether you are able to see this. Can you confirm whether it is visible to you? Okay, let me continue. So I said there are 4 levels of control. The first level of control is organization control, which is having 37 type of controls. This includes policies for information security roles and responsibility, segregation of duties, management responsibilities, contact with authority, contact with the special interest groups, threat intelligence, information security in project management, inventory of information and other associated assets, acceptable use of information and other associated assets, return of assets, classification of information, labeling of information, information transfer, access control, identity management, authentication information, access rights, information security in supplier relationship, addressing information security within supplier agreement, managing information security in the ICT supply chain, monitoring, review, and change management of the supplier services, information security for use of cloud services, information security, incident management, planning and preparation, assessment and decision on information security events, response to information security incidents, learning from information security incidents, collection of evidence, information security during disruptions, ICT readiness for business continuity, legal, statutory, regulatory, and contractual requirement, intellectual property rights, protection of records, privacy and protection of personal identifiable information, that is PII, which can be connected with the ISO 27701 standards. Please understand. Okay. This is directly connected with that standard 27701. Then independent review of information security, compliance with the policies, rules, and standards for information security. Then documented operating procedures. So these are all the 37 controls involved in organization controls. The next one is people control. there are 8 controls existing. First one is screening, then terms and conditions of employment, information security awareness and education and training, disciplinary process, responsibilities after termination or change of employment, confidentiality or non-disclosure of agreements, then remote working, information security, event reporting. So these are all the controls covered under the people. Earlier it was called as human resource controls. Then information security physical controls, there are 14 controls existing. So the physical security parameters, physical entry, securing offices, rooms and facilities, physical security monitoring, protecting against the physical and environmental threats, working in secure areas, clear desk and clear screen, equipment siting and protection, security of assets of premises, storage media, supporting utilities, cabling security, equipment maintenance, secure disposal or reuse of equipments. So these are all the areas covered under the physical controls. Then technological control, there are 34 controls. In this, user endpoint devices, privileged access rights, information access restriction, access to source codes, secure authentication, capacity management, protection against malware, management of technical vulnerabilities, configuration management, information deletion, data masking, data leakage prevention, information backup, redundancy of information processing facility, logging, monitoring activity, clock synchronization, use of utility programs, installation of software and operational systems, network security, security of network devices, segregation of networks, web filtering, use of cryptography, secure development lifecycle, application security requirement, secure system architecture and engineering principles, secure coding, security testing in development and acceptance, outsource development, separation of development, test and production environment, change management, test information, protection of information systems during audit and testings. So these are all 34 controls involved in this technological controls. Okay. If you look at here, these controls are having 5 factors. Each control will be having the control type, information security properties, the type of information security properties, the cyber security concepts, the operational capabilities, then the security domains where it is functioning. Give me a minute. So going back to my original screen, I believe this is visible to you. Yeah. So if you talk about Mr. Kuntal Mukherjee, can you please wait for some time? Once we complete it, we will discuss about your clarifications. So now let us talk about a real world example from the a real time example. Let's say company heavily relies on cloud based collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace. If the organization does an effective risk assessment on this, they have to identify the assets like customer data in the cloud, the threat, say unauthorized access due to poor password hygiene, then the vulnerability, say no multi-factor authentication, that is MFA enforced, no multi-factor authentication enforced. So in risk treatment, after assessing the risk, they may do the risk treatment based on implementing the multi-factor authentication, conducting regular access reviews, training the employees on phishing and password practices. And note that this targeted approach ensures their efforts are proportionate, efficient, and effective to the threats they are facing. So to sum up here, the risk-based approach in ISO 27001 is not just about ticking boxes. It's about making smarter decisions to protect what matters most. It also ties directly into continual improvement and the compliance readiness. Okay, so enhancing cyber resilience and regulatory compliances, how it is possible using ISO 27001 standards. So in today's volatile digital environment, organizations face a constant barrage of cyber threats from ransomware attacks to data breaches. This is where cyber resilience comes in. So what is cyber resilience and why it matters? So cyber resilience is the ability of an organization to prepare for, respond to, and recover from cyber incidents. It is not just to defend against attacks, but to bounce back quickly and continue operations with the minimal disruptions in the cyber operations, cyber resilience. So it's no longer a question of if a cyber attack will happen, but when. And when it does, your resilience defines how well you protect your reputation, your customers, and your bottom line. So how ISO 27001 supports cyber resilience? So ISO 27001 2022 plays a pivotal role in building that resilience through a structured, proactive information security management systems. So resilience by design. So through risk-based planning and controls in Annex A, ISO 27001 helping you design secure systems and processes from the ground up. Incident response and business continuity. So the controls around the incident management and ICT readiness ensure you have documented procedures to detect, respond to, and recover from the incidents. The integration of 22301 strengthens your ability to maintain the critical functions even during disruptions. So when we talk about the integrations, there is one separate topic we will discuss in that. Coming to the compliance management part, so ISO 27001 is a solid foundation that supports compliance with the GDPR, privacy and data protection regulations, then HIPAA for healthcare data in the US, then NIST cybersecurity framework, which is based on US, and other regulatory and sector specific requirements. So how an organization can achieve ISO 27001 2022 conformity with respect to the requirements available? What kind of steps that the organization can have? What is the roadmap? So let me explain here. First of all, step one, the top management has to identify a group of members or group of people who can take care of the responsibility of information security management system. So how they have to identify based on the profiles, based on employee profile, based on the personal performance in the organization routine activity. Based on that, the organization may select the people and offer training. So when we talk about training to the people who are all selected, it can be provided in various levels. Say initially they have to provide the awareness training on ISO 27001 and 27002 standards. There are two standards you can consider. So once the awareness training is completed, the basic awareness level can be checked with the people who already completed the training. Then their basic understanding can be little upgraded to the implementation level. Say the management can initiate the lead implementer level training to the people. So when we talk about the lead implementer level training, this is totally different between the lead auditor and the awareness level training program. So here, the management has to arrange a source who can provide the lead implementation training to the people. When talking about the lead implementation, I said earlier, there are requirements from class number 4.1 to class number 10.3 or 10.2. How these requirements can be demonstrated within the organization depends on the scope of the company. For example, an engineering industry can go for ISO 27001 certification. An IT company can go for 27,001 certification. On the other side, a training industry, a healthcare industry, a medical device manufacturing company, then the company who are all already involved in, information security or information technology oriented scope of the business. The advantage of getting this lead implementer training is they can take the responsibility of implementing the system in their own. So by getting the knowledge through these basic trainings, the people will be getting a confidence to implement the systems across the organization. By getting this training, they can provide some internal trainings also within their team. Then to go to advanced level, they can get qualified for lead oriented training program. That is a separate commitment from the management. That is all about preparing the people based on the training to qualify the team. Then the top management has to secure the commitments. What commitments, sir? So depends on the project they involved with the customer, depends on the nature of the task involved. They have to show their commitment. They have to establish their commitment by providing related arrangements, related infrastructure. So whatever may be the requirements stating from the standards. So those requirements can be well established, implemented, maintained, and continually to be improved. That's the kind of management commitment, that they have to assure. If it is committed, then the whole team shall understand about 27,001, 2022 requirements, including top management, we can say. So after understanding the basic frameworks like this, they can appoint an InfoSec team. This InfoSec team is a separate team handling exclusively the responsibilities related to the information security matters. Other than that, there may be some other functional teams. They can work below this InfoSec team. So their responsibility will be primarily to ensure that whether the requirements are well complied by each and every vertical of the organization. Depends on the level of the involvement with the information security requirements. And this InfoSec team has to become, declared by the top management. Before declaring this InfoSec team, appropriate competencies shall be well ensured. Then, based on the scope of the organization, towards information security management system establishment, they have to define the scope. The organization may have n number of scope, many scopes. Out of that, for which scope they are going to work. Sometimes if there may be one or three scopes. The organization may prefer to go for first two scopes. The third one, the next year may go on a phased manner. It is up to the organization decision. But the organization has to ensure that when they are declaring the scope now, they have to ensure that with the other scope left, which is not implemented, for which the information security requirements are not focused. With that scope, the scope which is already covered in 27,001 standards not going to be affected. They have to ensure. They have to ensure that. So then with reference to the scope, the policy and objectives shall be well established. Again, within the boundary of the organization, within the scope of the organization, need not to go out of the scope. Then, with reference to the verticals of the organization process, with reference to the information security, information assets available, they may conduct the risk assessment and risk treatment on the entire systems and the information security, the information assets. When they assess the risk assessment and risk treatment level, they'll be identifying the control objective, say Annex A. They have to establish, based on the risk assessment risk treatment, they have to establish Annex A. There are 93 controls we discussed. So out of the 93 controls, which controls are found applicable to the organization, which controls can be eliminated or considered as non-applicable. Understand, when they are trying to establish this control objective, say Annex A, and when they are justifying that, when they are saying that some of the control objectives are not applicable, they have to justify with the proper reasons. If the justifications are not considered properly, then it cannot be accepted under the elimination or non-applicability. So based on this, the top management, the organization has to declare the scope of the company, including the annex, not annex A, including the annex A. That is statement of applicability. The scope and SOI shall be declared together. While they are demonstrating all these things, in parallel to that, they will identify the suitable documented information, say a procedure, a policy, an SOP, a record, a format can be mutually developed in parallel to all these things. So once these are developed by the team, it can be implemented. So once the management is ensuring the implementation, they have to go for maintaining the system data. So once the establishment, implementation, maintenance is found over, the management has to monitor, review the systems ongoing using class number 9. I told you already, performance evaluation class. Then they have to improve if there are any flaws or gaps. So after the proper establishment, implementation, and the maintenance, the management has to use the two tools. I can say two eyes to the management system. One is internal auditing, the other one is management review. Using these two tools, they have to assess the performance of the system and they have to initiate the actions. This action includes for any flaw or deviations or the gaps or the non-conformities. They have to initiate the root cause analysis, correction, and corrective action. Once they are initiating, they can see a considerable improvement in that. The management has to ensure that, provided they have to ensure the effectiveness of the actions initiated now and earlier period, actions plans. Earlier period actions initiated. So means that the top management has to keep an eye on the continual improvement under the achievements are going to be achieved. Then the actions initiated towards the root cause analysis, correction, corrective action, and its effectiveness. So in these two areas, the top management has to always focus. So these are all the step-by-step roadmap to achieve the 27,001 requirement. The next one is integration. See, now many organizations, they are working with a multiple number of standards. An IT company who are certified for ISO 27001, they can go with ISO 9001 and other standards. When we talk about the integration, there is a question mark. What is the question mark? The integration, level of the integration. Our certification manager, Mr. Swati Kalra, used to ask this question. Sir, what level of integration the organization is declaring? Can you please check that? The same point I am addressing here. It's a very valid point actually. So to what level the system has been integrated? It depends on the standards design. For example, ISO 9001 and 27001 standards is having almost 90% similarity. 10% may vary in the core area. Likewise, business continuity management system, personal identifiable information system requirement, then IT service management system requirements. In general, we can speak employee competency skills, documentation systems, or we can say document control, record control, internal auditing, management review. If the standards are revised based on next Excel concept, then the risk and opportunity identification, the support functions, awareness, communications. So these are all the classes can be integrated, including the internal issue, external issue, something like that. The policy can be integrated. So the integration is possible, depends on the element that you are working with. So 27,001 standards can be integrated with 2230 standards, 9,001 standards, 20,000, 27,000, 27,701 standard. Understand again, the level of the integration matters. Right, sir. What are the benefits to the business and professionals when they are going with the 27,001 certification? So for the organizations, when they are establishing, implementing, maintaining, and continually improving the 27,001 information security management system requirements, they will be getting the competitive advantage and they're earning stakeholder trust. That's according to the project handout to the company, they can manage because they are having set of information security systems in place. Whatever the threat comes, they can handle it. Such kind of trust that you can get from the customers. I have seen, this benefit, certified companies. Then the regulatory alignment, that is very much important when you are into information security. Again, when you are talking about the regulatory alignment, it depends on the country where your company is operated. So applicable to the concerned country and the nature of the scope involved, say some of the risk, some of the scope can be considered under high risk. Some of the scope can be coming under medium risk. Some of the scope can be considered under low risk. So depends on that, the regulatory requirements also can be applied. So that is a kind of an advantage to the organization. Then reduce cyber insurance premiums. That is due to the threats the organization is going to face. Then improve the internal protocols, improve the internal controls over Annex A and the governance, entire governance. Simply speaking, when 27,001 standards is implemented in the organization can ensure its resilience even during information security related disruptions. Coming to the professionals part, it will definitely add value, career growth, and credibility. So in-demand expertise in risk and compliance level. So if you want to be an auditor, if you want to be a consultant, then your role will be very powerful in governance, audit, and cybersecurity. So there is a Q&A session. If you want to go one step ahead into the risk and opportunity. So Mr. Kuntal Maharji, he has asked me a question. Can mechanical metallurgy engineer do lead auditor course in ISO 27001 standards? Sir, to develop your competency, to enhance your competency, you can do this course, but subject to the area that you are going to apply. You are going to demonstrate your existing competency only in mechanical metallurgy area, then there is no need to do 27,001 standards. When in addition to your existing competency, when you are doing this 27,001 LA course, definitely that will add value. When 100 people are applying for a particular role, say for example, an European-based company or US-based company or UK-based company, your profile will be totally different from the other people who are already into the mechanical metallurgy field. Means to say that your profile will be, given higher weightage than the other people when you are keeping this 20 information security systems. So my say is, yes, you can proceed subject to the necessity. Being a metallurgy or mechanical engineer, you can focus on other standards also. ISO 9001, ISO 14001 or ISO 45001. Say being a mechanical metallurgy engineer, health and safety management system, you can focus. Nowadays, towards sustainability, every organization is working on the sustainability area. So from that perspective, environmental health and safety, greenhouse gas emissions. So in this area, you can focus. That is as a demonstrator, that is my view. It is up to you to consider this. So you are already a team leader. That's good to hear in integrated management system. So what are the standards? So 9001, 14,001 or 45,001 or any other standards? You can give a response in the chat box. All three standards, 9001, 14,000, 45,001 standards. Yes, sir. Now then, you can work for the greenhouse gas emissions, or they say according to your interest 27,001 standards, you can apply, no problem at all. But sir, nowadays the organization needs the mobility in the organization, personal role, mobility. If you are capable of performing in multiple number of roles with your competency, existing competency, they are encouraging that you will be preferred more than the other people. So you can perform 27,001. You can also perform 22301 business continuity management system. You can also perform information security, energy management system. There are various courses available, sir. Only thing we need to open up our mind to learn and improve ourselves. The scope in Europe, in the sense, sir, the European countries are, the people are working in European countries, the countries, I can say the industries who are all working in Europe now, or the people are associating with the European countries. They have to comply with the GDPR rule. GDPR, information security rule. Okay, information security and personal information security. These areas, they are working on it. Okay, so whoever may be the whoever may be the people having this competency, they will try to encourage you when they are preferring the resumes. It depends on the industry. If your industry is connected with the European-based companies now, maybe your profile will be highly encouraged than other resumes. How to get competency in those roles? Means the information security roles you are asking, sir? Yes. So how to get competency in those roles? If you're asking. Yes, after completing this, let me complete, Mr. Rajit. Please wait. Let me close this question. So when talking about this competency achievement and with reference to the information security and all, on phased manner, you can learn, sir. I told you earlier, you can go for, and now you completed the webinar. The next level may be an awareness session, complete a one-day awareness session. Then you can go for lead implementer, or straight away you can go to the lead auditor program. When you talk about the learning now, it is, you cannot stop it. You cannot stop the learning. The more the learning, the more the learning you are having, the more the application you can explore. So from that perspective, gradually when you are learning, you will be also exploring that in your job, and thereby you can explore. For example, assume you are already qualified for ISO 27001 standard. So when you talk about 27,001 standards, if a company is already implementing that, you will be appointed as a management representative or information security, team head. Thereby you can establish the systems, sir. When you're trying to establish systems, definitely it will be a hard one. It will be a hard one because each and every requirements are connected technically with the information security matters. So you have to apply, you have to know about the standards requirement and also the core requirement. For that, you can get the support from your IT team. Your IT team, na? You can get the support from your IT team. You can work with IT team closely. Thereby, you will come to know stage by stage. You will come to know about what is what, and over a period of time, you will become an expert person. If you want to be an information security auditor, that is possible. That is possible. Nowadays, there is a barrier from the accreditation code also. If you want to become an information security auditor, they have removed the rule of 4 years of mandatory IT industry experience. So I'm very sure that you can become an auditor once you complete this ISO 27001 standards lead auditor course. Provided you have to show some implementation experience or auditing experience. So you can show your internal auditing experience within your company. Sometimes if your company is not having the systems in place, you can voluntarily implement the system in your company, demonstrating your skills and competence to the management, getting the appreciation from them, going for certification. Then you can acknowledge the data, like number of internal audits done, number of supplier audits done, something like that. You can show the data to the upcoming company you are going for. Then accordingly you can qualify. Understand, when you want to become an auditor in ISO 27001, you have to join any certification body or the agencies who are all working for this information security matters. That is how it has to be done, sir. But it can be done. It is possible. But you have to keep a focus on that. You have to keep it like a strategy for the next 5 years or 3 years. To start with awareness. So for part-time roles, and you have to search in the let me complete this, Rajiv. Please wait. So part-time role, you have to search the internet. You're now having so many social medias. You can collaborate with the people and come to know about opportunities in Europe to work in part-time. But ensure that your company is allowing according to the code of conduct or the employment rules and regulations. I believe, Mr. Kundal, enough information served. Are you happy? So the next question raised by Mr. Ajit. Why the number ISO IEC 27001 instead of ISO 27001? Yes. See, when ISO organization is developing the standards, I believe that you know the background of ISO organization. Mr. Ajit, can you confirm? You are aware about ISO organization and its the core scope? Yes, Mr. Ajit, thank you. So the ISO organization, the International Organization for Standardization, they are developing the international business codes to develop the business communications across globe. Okay, so when they are developing the standards, depends on the discipline or vertical they are developing it. For example, ISO 9001 talks about the quality management. ISO 14000 series talks about environmental management. Likewise, they are keep on developing multiple number of standards. So far, they have developed more than 15,000 standards. I believe it might have crossed more than 16,000 now. Okay, so out of the 16,000 standards, we are trying to discuss only one topic, that is 27,001 standards. Right, sir. Coming to the topic of development of standards. Okay, when they are trying to develop such kind of standards, sometimes they are working within the ISO organization. Say, for example, ISO 9001 is developed by ISO TC 176 Technical Committee. ISO 45001 has been developed by a project committee PC 180 something. Okay, when we talk about this 27,001 standard, This is developed in collaboration with International Electrotechnical Committee. Are you aware about International Electrotechnical Committee? Ajit, come on. So Ajit, yeah, this International Electrotechnical Committee is also collaborating with the ISO organization to develop these standards. And this IEC has developed so many standards. Hence, it is connected as ISO IEC 27001 standard. Any questions further? So now coming to Mr. Ajit, you are having one, you are having one more question. The existing question I have not answered yet. That is configuration management. That is configuration management. So the configuration management is also a part of, is also one among the parts of information security management system. Through configuration management, the organization is ensuring that all the IT assets are identified, tracked, and documented. Say, for example, all the hardwares, the softwares, networking systems, the systems, whatever it may be in place. And it is like a document control, record control management. So whatever will be the changes happening to configuration management, that has to be controlled, reviewed, and approved. For that, if you keep a procedure, that will be highly appreciated. If you go through standards, you will come to know whether it is coming under mandatory or voluntary. Understand, in configuration management, unauthorized or undocumented changes to be avoided. It will reduce the risk of security vulnerabilities. And note that the current configuration management shall be always well identified, well tracked, well communicated to the entire team of the people. That will help you really during any disruptions or any incidents happens related to the information security systems. To specifically talk about this configuration management, class number, control number 8.9 demonstrate this. The purpose of control number 8.9 demonstrate that configurations of hardware, software, services, and networks are known and do not introduce the security risk. So according to this configuration management, you have to keep the key activity. You have to maintain the configuration records. You have to define the baseline. You have to define the change control, say the management of change control process. You have to periodically monitor and audit the configurations. So the importance of this configuration management in ISMS. So when you are adopting this, when you are giving importance to the configuration management, it is helping you to prevent, sorry, it is helping you to prevent the misconfigurations that is leading to security breaches. When you are trying to keep it perfectly according to the requirements, through that you can ensure that the system is secured and consistent performance of the system achieved. It supports the vulnerability management and incident responses. It enhances the compliances and audit readiness. So Ajit, are you happy about this specification for configuration management? So what you written here? IT Commission. What is this? IT Commission. What is this? The IEC is International Electrotechnical Commission, sir. I believe that you are writing a short form of that. So, Mr. Ajit, if you want to know more about this, shall we discuss now or should I send the details to your email ID? Mr. Ajit, on ISYEC and configuration management, tell me. So, Mr. Kuntal, you may send an email to Swati, she will send this. So, thank you, Sumit madam. Sumit Paul, okay. Mr. Ajit, you don't want this? Oh, from Mozambique, appreciated. So, I believe we can close the session. Thank you for all your active participation. Thank you for believing the brand KBS and our team. So thank you so much, all. I believe we can close this now. Kuntal ji, do you have the questions now? Come on, Mr. Kuntal. What questions you are having? So Kuntal, if you are having any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, let us close the question, close the session. So Mr. Amit, can you please confirm whether we can close it or not? Mr. Amit, can you please confirm? Mr. Davasilan, can you please send an email to our training manager, Mrs. Swati? I can share the email ID of her here. Or so I have shared the email ID of Swati, our training manager. He is also taking care of the certifications. So she will be the best person to respond to this. No. Please send an email to Swati, whoever may be wanting the certificate. Let her take the decision. Yeah. So thank you all. I really appreciate Mr. Amit Rajput and Harshida, Jasprit, and our training head, Mrs. Swati Kalra, our management director, Kaushal Goyal, and other team members for successfully completing this demonstration. Thank you so much. Let's leave the session. Wishing you all the best. Bye.